Welcome to episode 8 of the Exactly Entertainment podcast. Today, we are talking about one of my all time favorite shows, The Walking Dead, which just announced that after season 11, an extended season 11 with 24 episodes, it will be ending. We're going to get into our thoughts and feelings about the show's ending, theories and predictions, as well as our thoughts on the expanded Walking Dead universe. I am Matthew Lyons.
And I'm Derek Terrell.
And let's just get into it. So, Derek, what are your thoughts on the main Walking Dead show ending?
I think that's crazy. I mean, we've both been watching. You've been watching longer than I have. You kind of got me into the show a long time ago.
I was like a missionary for The Walking Dead for a
Mhm.
long time.
You were, um, back in what we were probably in like middle school at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. But thinking about how long ago that actually was now, it's crazy to see it finally have an end in sight because for so long it felt like it, didn't have an end in sight at all.
Yeah.
Um, I remember watching, like the beginning of season 7 live, which was quite the
That
experience.
was a big deal.
Definitely one of my favorite, live television experiences. That was huge. And I think it's crazy to see it come to an end, but I think it's about time. And I think the show's run its course. So
Yeah,
I'm very interested to see how they close it out.
I mean, as long as the ending is good,
Hmm.
I'll be happy with it. Because, I mean, I love this show. Season 8 dipped in quality. Season 7, the back half did for me. But season 9, I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. And it finally, like, reignited the spark of what made me like the show. And season 10, I mean, we haven't seen the finale, and they've tacked on an extra 6 episodes for it. So from what we've seen, I've really liked it.
Yeah,
Um,
this season's been not too bad.
yeah, the stuff they've done with like Beta when he was like attacking Alexandria and it was like Michael Myers, it was so creepy. I
Yeah,
think that was one of the best episodes in a long time.
yeah,
But like you said, I'm glad that the show has an ending and they've had these past few months kind of like plan out what
yeah,
they want, basically.
yeah. I'm really hoping that there's an internal plan. We want to hit these plot points before we go. We want to be here with this character, here with this character by the time we get to that ending. Because we are on season 10 right now. The next season will be the last. So with this last big season, they really need to start deciding what they're going to do with these characters that we've been with for so long. And I'm glad they almost have this extra time to figure that out. And they're adding these extra 6 episodes to also, lead into whatever their plan is for next season. So I think that's great. I'm definitely looking forward to it. The show has definitely for me gone downhill. It's good now. Season, like you said, with the back half of season 7 and season 8 not being as good, I definitely agree with that. I think season 9 and 10 have been good, but they're just not, for me, as good as it used to be. It's a very different show to me,
Hmm.
the way I see it. I guess that might not be the general reception, but it's a very different show for me. Recently, I think what made it different was that really big time jump they did. How long was that?
I think it was 6 years.
6 years. Yeah, the show hasn't quite felt the same since then, for me.
Interesting.
Um, there's so much about the show in the early seasons that I just feel doesn't really translate into these newer seasons, and that's not a bad thing. When a show goes on for 10 seasons, you want it to evolve. You don't want it to be the same.
Right.
But I'm definitely not saying that it's a bad thing, but I think a lot of the qualities that I loved about the show kind of faded away as it went on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it just kind of lost some of the magic it had early on for me. And that's where I've been with The Walking Dead um recently. So
Interesting.
kind of a
Now,
weird spot, yeah.
do you watch Fear the Walking Dead?
No, I never got into Fear.
Neither did I. So they have The Walking Dead, they have Fear the Walking Dead. I think I watched the first 3 episodes, and I just didn't stick with it.
Yeah.
And now like Morgan and Dwight are in it, and I don't know. But I guess they did like a giant time jump as well. Might have been like 8 years or something. So it's
Really?
like the same with The
Are
Walking Dead,
they
maybe.
so are they ahead now, or are
Mm,
they on par
I think they're
with the
kind of on
season?
par. But
Right, because even in like past seasons, there were smaller time jumps,
yeah,
like of like The Walking Dead.
yeah.
So,
So they have that, which we don't watch. But with the news of the show ending, they've greenlit another 2 shows, and they have another show called World Beyond, which is going to be a 2-season limited series,
mm,
which I think is great because I mean, no one really wants to. As much as I love The Walking Dead, I don't want to watch like 6 different shows and have to keep up with all of them.
with 10 seasons each. Yeah, I like the
Yeah,
idea of a limited series actually.
yeah,
Having an end, like having a full story from the start. You don't see that a lot.
you
They make
don't.
shows to stay around, you know,
Yeah,
to keep making money. But I can't tell you the last time I've watched a show where at the beginning of it, they knew we're only going to go this long and then that's the end because that allows them in the writing room to then make one coherent story. So I'll probably watch that. That sounds very interesting.
yeah, and it's a completely different concept, and I mean, it's kind of annoying, like it was in the beginning when they're like focusing on Fear the Walking Dead, when like the Walking Dead quality was kind of like dropping a little bit. People were like, well, why focus on this other show? We need to, why don't you just end this one show? But in this apocalyptic like genre, there's so much story to be told.
Yeah.
And with
And
this
so many
new
different
series,
locations too.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
it would be so cool to see what's happening in Hawaii during The Walking Dead. What's happening, up in the mountains. Just put places we haven't seen. We've been in the same kind of area. I know we've done a bit of traveling, but the environments and the sets feel like very similar in my
Hmm.
opinion. So I think it would be very cool to see different parts of the world, how they're being affected. Just zombies on the beach. I
Yeah.
guess Oceanside, but
Well,
like California or something. I don't
yeah,
know.
even like across the country, like England or
Yeah,
Paris, like these places like Russia. What is
yeah,
going on with Russia and Vladimir Putin and all them? I would love to see a Russian zombie apocalypse.
yeah. Just keep it in the Walking Dead universe. That's fun. It's fun to have a big universe like that, and it's fun to know that while these characters are doing this, that Rick and all his boys are doing this.
Yeah.
That's always great, and it's always good to expand on like the similar universes and just learn more. But yeah, there's so much story to be told in that universe. Um, I can't wait to see what else they have in store. So you said there's one limited series and then there's another show that they confirmed?
So the limited series has already wrapped filming for the first season, and that's going to premiere, I believe, right after the finale. Well, what was supposed to be the finale for season 10, and that's going to focus on like these kids that grew up in the apocalypse, so they
Oh,
don't know like what the world was like before, and they embark on some mission, and it's somehow going to incorporate like the helicopters that flew Rick away,
mm-hmm.
and Rick Grimes is getting 3 movies. Like, there's so much going on.
Yeah, yeah,
But I guess this show is kind of gonna like tie it all together, maybe.
fun. I
And
think that could be fun.
yeah,
Love child, these younger casts.
yeah, they're going for like a Stranger Things route with the younger
Yeah,
cast, which
why not? Try something
exactly,
different. That's better than with Fear the Walking Dead. It was kind of just another Walking Dead, but without the characters you know and love. With this, they're trying something different. I think that's a cool concept. Yeah.
so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Then after The Walking Dead ends, Daryl and Carol are getting their own show.
Really.
That is the only thing that I
That kind of
hate.
like confirms that they survive.
Exactly. That's exactly what
Oh,
I was
I don't
thinking.
like
And
that at all. Why would they tell us that?
exactly. Those entertainment. Those are my like 2 favorite characters, but I don't want to see them without the group. And like it wouldn't really make sense for them to not be with the rest of the group. I don't know. I think it's
That's
dumb.
that stuff's so stupid. Like when they tried to do like a Rocket and Groot spin-off, like why wouldn't they just stay with the Guardians of the
Exactly.
Galaxy?
Yeah.
Like what? Oh, that's just even if you are gonna do that, why not wait till the show's over to tell us? Why tell us right now?
Yeah.
Now I know they survive.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
The list of characters that I care about is like very quickly diminishing,
yeah.
and now that I know that two of the ones that I do care about are safe,
And I
I don't
feel
know how I
like
feel about that.
it's gonna be a happy ending. And to be honest, I
I
don't
don't
really want that.
screw that, dude. I want them all to die.
Yeah, I want like Daryl to be like the final survivor.
Yeah, I want Daryl walking away with like all like the trophies from like everything. I want him walking away with like his crossbow, the katana, give him
Yeah.
like all the different like trophies from all the give him Negan's bat. I don't care. Just
Yeah.
give him like all the different trophies from everyone and just have him walking away.
That's the
You
show
know,
I want.
I don't, it's gonna be a happy ending. You know, it's gonna be, oh, we live happily ever after, and the walls are defended, and
Everyone's baking pies.
yeah, it's gonna be like, I really hope. Oh, I really think that's what's gonna happen.
And I don't want them to find a cure because
No,
that kind of
nothing like
defeats
that.
this whole larger world. Like the show is always like these later seasons have been about rebuilding society and trying to move on.
Right, because the early seasons were surviving. You have to survive.
Right.
But now they've learned how to survive. It's been so long, they've learned how to survive. So what comes after that? And that's so fascinating. If
And
it has so much opportunity, and it's a shame that they don't fully capitalize on that, because there's so much where that could be explored. And I think that's like they were going in that direction with like like the helicopters and
mhm.
all that different stuff. When the references to like that big city they show and all different stuff like that, they reference this bigger world, but they're almost like scared to go after it right away. And I think we need to see more of that. So
I I think that's going to be like the whole season 11 arc,
I
at
hope
least
so.
the first half of it, because
I would
they
love to see
actually,
them back in the city.
yeah, they released this teaser. It was 30 seconds. It was all like past footage, like teasing the finale. But in the final frame, they had like this soldier in like this white uniform, and everyone in the comments was like, "Oh, that's the Commonwealth." So I think that's definitely going to be hinted at in the finale and then expanded upon in these last 6 episodes, which is
I'm all in
exciting.
for it. Yeah.
So we don't like the Daryl Carroll idea as much as we love those characters. I think it's stupid. You're not a fan.
Especially that they told us. It's a
Exactly.
stupid concept in the first place, but
That's
then
like
you're gonna
telling
tell
us
us
that
about
Rick
it.
died, but worse.
Yeah.
I mean, like I get it because people who like fell off the show would be like, "Oh my God, Rick's leaving! Like I have to see this." I don't know to what extent that worked, but that is forgivable. But this, I don't know. It's
That
cheap.
was kind of cheap with the whole Rick thing.
Yeah,
Oh, I would have loved to not know what was going on.
I know. And then like, because as soon as he got that spike in it, you would have been like, "Oh my God, is he actually gonna die?"
Yeah, yeah. And especially if Andrew Lincoln stayed hush hush about it. And
Mm-hmm. Same thing with Denai Guerrero when she left, because she's gone too. She's
oh, really? Oh, yeah, you're right.
she's going to join Rick in the movies.
Man, this is what I'm talking about. They got like all these characters you care about, and they like slowly trinkle in these other characters that are so like, I
Meh.
mean, they're not bad. Yeah, meh.
Yeah.
They're just like, like the sign language ones and all the different ones. And
Connie. I like Connie.
yeah, I guess. But I don't know. Some of them, yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, they're all
I
right.
don't like Magna. Not a huge fan of her.
Yeah, I don't even like know some of these people by name. But I
Yeah.
just know what they look like and like what they do. I know
Yeah.
there's like slingshot person. You
Yeah.
That's a good way to remember them by like their
Kelly.
weapons. Yeah, you got slingshot one, you got the bow and arrow one, you got sign language one. I couldn't tell you their names. But that whole group, you got the musician one. Like I don't care about any of those people at all. And like they seem like they're the future. Like I don't care about the musician guy.
I don't want that future.
That's it. Carol and Daryl are leaving at the end of this season. The next season's just gonna be all about these guys.
Oh God.
Oh,
Imagine if like they become like the new leaders and Daryl and Carol like forget this, man. I'm out. I'm gonna go live on a boat. So there's that. There's the Rick movies, World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead, all this stuff. But once The Walking Dead is over, they greenlit another series. I think this is the best of all the news.
Ooh,
So this series, I don't think they said it was like a limited series. I think it's going to be like
like a big one, like a 10 season.
no, I don't know. They can do anything with this cuz this is going to be an anthology series where each episode is dedicated to a different character. Or maybe they have like 2 episodes or 3 episodes. So, and that could focus on anyone in the world. It could focus on characters that died, like Abraham or Glenn. Do like an episode on Negan's backstory. Like they can do. There's like limitless possibilities about
Yeah,
this. I think
that sounds
this is a
awesome.
brilliant idea.
Yeah, that and kind of goes back to what I was talking about last episode, Breaking Bad. We can get the guy in the tank. We can get
Yeah,
we can get like an episode about him and just different. Even if like there's a walker that like looked funny in one of the episodes, like you're just like, what's his story? How did he end up there?
yeah,
But like that stuff's so cool to me. Like when all these little stories that are in this bigger universe. I think that show's gonna be awesome. I think that's gonna be great, and I hope they cover all the major bases with Glenn and everyone like that. But I really hope they do go off, do some crazy stories that you just wouldn't have thought of. Just some random walkers or oh, where did that guy come from? How did
hmm
this all, that stuff's so cool to me. You see, different scenes from different angles. Maybe this guy's
yeah,
hiding and you see Rick and all them like go past on their horses or whatever, and then like just like stuff like that. Like, oh, during this scene, this guy's right over here. Kind of like an Avengers Endgame, like you have the time travel scenes where they're in New York. And it's like when you go back and watch Avengers, it's like, oh, if you think about it, like they're in the
yeah,
next street over. Like that stuff's so cool to me, and I think that's like a great idea. And especially with like one-off, self-contained stories, bring in a different director for each one, have that director do their vision, that one episode, 2 episode, 3 episode story, and
hmm
just like let's see just all these little pocket stories in the Walking Dead universe. I think that would be great.
yeah.
I think that would be
Um,
money.
there was actually a theory, not a theory, a hope that a lot of the fans of the Telltale video games, they were like begging an episode or two about like Lee and Clementine.
Oh, like
I
to be canon, to like
yeah,
canonize the. Are they canon right now?
I don't know. I think they're canon with the comic book universe, not the
Hmm.
show though.
Yeah, I'm not a very big Telltale games guy.
Me
Those
neither.
never really appealed to me. It's like you just like choose the option and then like that's it.
Yeah.
But the story I have heard like when it comes to Telltale games that those ones are like highly regarded when it comes to like the story.
Yeah.
So sure, why not?
I mean, yeah, as long as it's good. Um, and like you said about like each director having their own vision, like that's so cool. And like
Hmm.
we were talking about earlier with like they can do an episode in Hawaii or an episode about I don't know, people that are hiding in like an ancient castle or something.
Yeah, that would be
Like
so cool in
you can do
Ireland
any
or something like that.
genre.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, even different genres, like you just said. You could have like a really scary one. You could have like a more comedic one, like a more like a Zombieland take, where it's like, all right, like it's the same universe, but these people are just like stoned out of their minds or something, and they're
Yeah.
just like
Bunch of
having to
hipsters in
like
the apocalypse.
right, yeah. There's so many different routes, and I think that series is the best way to do it. You don't maybe we don't want a 10 season series about the castle people, but maybe like a cool 3 episode story about them would be cool. Kind of like how they did with The Mandalorian, where they kind of let each director do like a one off episode type of thing, and you saw like a lot of different things, and the episodes were very different from each other, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like even if you don't limit it to an episode, maybe it's a 3 episode arc or a 2 part thing. I think 2 episodes, 3 episodes, I could do either way. one might be a little short if they throw in commercials, 40 minutes, maybe do like a 2 episode, 3 episode per story. And then maybe if, the fans really like a certain group of characters, you can bring them back. You can have them maybe even meet like one of the other ones and kind of like intermingle in there. And
Yeah.
I just think that the small short stories in the Walking Dead universe are the best way to go after we've had this long, drawn out story with the same characters. I just think that would be great. Get some good talent in there, some good actors, get some new people in there, some, up and coming people. That would just be so good. So many different ways. You could have someone, like even working at like NASA, and you're like a ton of genius people, and there's an outbreak at like maybe they launch up into space at the end or something. I don't know. But like maybe it's all about like these NASA, they're trying to get the rocket ready so they can get out of
Going to Mars. There's a zombie.
Hurry, initiate the launch. The walkers are going.
That would be kind of fascinating if like they're all on a rocket, but they don't know that everyone has the virus. So someone dies and there's just this zombie, walker, floating in space in the shuttle. That would be amazing.
But like there's so many different things they could do with that. In like an island, and then like maybe like one person, like obviously since there's an apocalypse, like maybe there's no boats going in or planes going in and out of the island, so these people are stuck on the island for years, and then maybe eventually one dies, and then like an outbreak happens on this island, split it up into different territories or something, like last season of Gotham.
I think you just described the plot of Lost.
Well, but Walking Dead.
Right, yeah.
Walking Lost.
I think it would actually be kind of cool to have like just a one-off episode about someone like trapped in a house. Remember that episode in like season 4 when Rick is like under the bed and the claimers came in? Like that was one of the best episodes of the series. Like that was really like scary. Like something like that. I'd love to see something like that again.
Oh yeah, like even if it's in like a mansion and they're like running around, it's like a creepy mansion. There's just so many cool ideas. Definitely, if you're watching this on YouTube, put in the comment section if you have any cool ideas for like a one-off episode, or you can add us on Twitter as well. We'd love to hear if anyone had any ideas. But yeah, there's just so many opportunities and like different routes you could go with it. It's like it's almost like a shame not to try that.
Yeah.
Because I think people would like it. Especially like I said, after this long run. I don't think people need another 10 season spiel there. I think they've built such an amazing universe that people care about, that name alone will bring in viewers even now after 10 seasons. And especially if you bring in some big talent, some big actors, I think it's a slam dunk.
Yeah, because I mean, actors don't want to sign on for a series that's going to go like 37 years. So
but
if you
they'll
just
sign
get
on
them
for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if people don't like an episode, they can just watch the next one
over.
and it won't
It's
matter.
Over. Yeah. Skip
like
those
Black
3
Mirror.
episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would just like thinking in my head of all like the different actors and stuff. That would be so funny, like a Bill Burr survive this thing,
I want a Bill Burr walker. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just completely angry.
We need more celebrity walkers. Why don't they do that?
Yeah.
Why? I feel like a lot of people would go for that. Like a lot of celebrities. I feel like they'd be like, yeah, I'll be a walker. Just make them. Yeah, I feel like that would be super cool.
That'd be amazing.
Especially if it's like the one that like kills someone. Like, you just got killed by like Morgan Freeman walker or something like that.
Or even if they get killed by a walker. They want to do like a even like something in Zombieland when like Bill Murray shows up and just gets killed.
Exactly. That would be awesome.
Yeah. The possibilities are endless, and I think that this is the greatest news that has come out from The Walking Dead in
I
a long,
agree.
long time.
Yeah, this is definitely easier than last week with Breaking Bad because
Yeah.
that's such, with that being such a grounded universe and the stories have such meaning, that this one's a lot more fun when it comes to, that it's not as heavy when it comes to the meanings behind it. Obviously, The Walking Dead does have its meanings behind it and very strong messages in The Walking Dead, but it's there's so much to go off of here and the possibilities are just so endless. There's just so many things they could do. And I really hope with these spin-offs, they at least take these characters we know in different directions. If they do a Glenn spin-off, a few episodes, I really hope that it shows us a side of Glenn we didn't see before, or, you know, a new aspect of, what he's all about, or even more of the same, but in a different context or in a different setting.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see, oh, I could place this clip in between two episodes and it make perfect sense. You know what I mean? And it like not have to have seen it. I want it to be its own story. If they're gonna do a Glenn story, I want it to be a Glenn story. I don't want it to be like how in El Camino there's the scene with Walt and Jesse in the diner.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't want it to be like just like you can fit it into the puzzle. I
Right.
want it to be I want it to like branch off. I want
Mm.
these stories to branch off. I don't want them to just be another piece in the puzzle. But what do you think?
That's interesting. I like when you can fit pieces into the puzzle like that, and like you
Yeah,
don't it's not imperative that you see it, but when you see it, you have a greater appreciation for both.
sure.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but I think I personally like it. Like even what you said when like you can see like a different side of something. I feel like
Mhm.
that's kind of the same thing in a sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think now that like you said that and I think about it, I think it's like you need a good mixture of both. I
Yeah.
don't think you can sit there and literally follow the Walking Dead story and like go in and out of it as you please just the whole time. I
And
think
when you know everything's what's gonna happen.
compared to Glenn is off with three of his buddies, you don't know which one of his buddies is gonna die, or you know what I mean, stuff like that. So I don't know. I feel like you need a healthy mixture. You don't want it to because if you just do that, it's kind of just like a special features Blu-ray disc of The Walking Dead instead
Yeah.
of like its own show.
Yeah.
It's like a deleted scenes montage. I
Yeah.
think they just got to do it right. I think they can do it either way, and I think a little bit of both is the best way to do it. Even if it's like the whole separate story, and then at the end, it just shows like the main character dies and he's a walker, and he just happens to walk into a crowd, and it just shows Rick like shoot him just as if he's like one of the other random
Yes.
zombies, yeah, other random walkers. You know what I mean? And
That
it's like, oh, like he was just disposable, like in the show, but then you learn all about him, and you just see him walking into this crowd, and then boom, dead.
that's exactly what I want. And I want like an origin story on the man in the field. Do you know
Yeah,
in season 2, like in the credit sequence, they have that lonely walker?
yeah, exactly. There's so many things like that
Yeah.
that they can just do. Like, and I'm sure if I would, I obviously I haven't watched the early seasons or really, I haven't seen season 7 since it came out. I've just
Yeah.
been watching as it's been coming out. So it's been a while since I've seen like seasons like 7 through 1. So I'm sure if I went back, I'd be like, oh, that guy could have a cool story. Maybe we see the prison that they go to in the early seasons
Oh yeah.
at the time of the outbreak and see how the prison falls. And you meet the inmates, you meet the guards, you meet like the warden,
Mhm.
and then you see how everything falls into place. And that would just be so cool to see, like, like you're seeing this room where Judith is born, but like way earlier, and like you see like these same characters standing where that happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's a healthy mix of leaning into The Walking Dead, but also still making your own stories. So I think that's the verdict that I've come to.
I mean, it would be hard for them to mess this up, really.
Yeah, they'd have to tell some really boring stories.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, it's such a good idea. It's such a good concept, and it's a perfect way. If you've stuck with The Walking Dead for 11, 12 years, however long it's been, and like it's a chore for you to watch it and you just want to be done with it, by all means, see you later. And even people who haven't seen The Walking Dead, they can just join in. Someone said, "Oh, this was a good episode." They can just put it on and watch it. And now
Mhm.
they're a fan and they can go back on Netflix and watch, like 11 years of content.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, I think these stories do have the potential to bring in new people, and yeah, I think that's by far the thing I'm looking forward to most over the Rick movies, over everything else. I think that's the future of The Walking Dead, in my opinion. So we'll just have to see. It could flop. It could be awful. I hope not. Are there any details on when they're gonna start that? When they're gonna
Um,
release that?
I don't know.
Or are they just kind of saying, "Hey, this is something we're working on"?
I think they might have said season 11 was going to start 2021. So I'd imagine it wouldn't start at least until 2022.
Right, and then you also don't know if it's gonna run concurrently with like the other 10 shows that they're working on. So
Right. Put Daryl and Carol on the back burner
I'm not
and
watching
Fear the
that.
Walking Dead. Like that, I mean, if they end it in a brilliant way where like you want to see what happens, like sure I will. But
Yeah,
thinking about it right now, I love Norman Reedus. I love Melissa McBride, but I'm done with their characters.
I don't
Not
think I could watch a
not in The Walking
show
Dead. I love them in
just
The
about
Walking Dead.
them.
And they're like the good thing about like Daryl and Carol stepping up in The Walking Dead is that there are other characters to balance them out. So they can be leaders, but they're not like leads of the show really.
Yeah,
But like if it's just them, I mean it's them, you know?
and also like, what more is there to explore about their relationship? Like
Right.
I feel like we're at this point where they have an understanding of each other. They're like they have their relationship. There's nothing more to. There's no character development there for them. Maybe individually, but like, then what's the point of them having? Why not just do a Daryl show or a Carol show?
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous. I think they know that those are the two most popular characters, and they're scared to do this new stuff, and they're holding on with like everything they have left to those
Yeah.
two. And I'm just waiting for those actors to call it quits because that's a long time in the same role. That's a very long time in the same role. Like they have to be getting tired of that now.
Yeah. I don't think Norman Reedus is
No, he loves it.
he loves it. Yeah, and I mean he's got like his own like motorcycle show out of it.
Yeah,
And I mean this
Ride
is
with
kind of
Norman Reedus, is that what it's called?
yeah. And
And have you watched that? Is it any good?
no, I think I've seen like clips of it. I haven't like watched the it like live or anything. And they got Talking Dead still. Oh my god, they have so many things going on.
Yeah, they do have. What's Talking Dead gonna come? Because it used to be Talking Bad, and I never knew that until a few days ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw it on
Um
YouTube. I was like, oh,
so I think it was
what's he got? What's Chris Hardwick gonna talk about next?
oh my god, you're right.
Chris Hardwick's gonna have to find a new show talking about something else.
Yeah, and it has to be catchy. Like Talking
Yeah,
Bad, Talking Dead.
it can't just be like talking Grey's Anatomy or like talking yeah, because Talking Bad, The Talking Dead, yeah, that works so well. What's gonna be the phone number? 1-855 dead live. Like, what's it gonna be now?
1-800 Grey's Anatomy. It'd be so stupid. I mean, and I
So
like I understand why AMC's doing all this because aside from the Breaking Bad universe. Walking Dead is really all it has. Mad Men's
Yeah.
over. I could never get into that show.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so I think this is kind of all they have, and they're
It's for all the marbles.
milking every penny out of it.
Because Vince isn't gonna let them. He's not gonna let them do that with Breaking Bad.
I don't think so.
So they gotta do it with Walking Dead. He's not gonna let them make 3 movies, 4 spin-offs. Like
Yeah,
that's his baby there, you know?
I think Scott and Gimple could be like, sure, like the more the merrier.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, bright future potentially ahead for The Walking Dead.
I hope so.
Even as the sun sets, there's still, I don't know. Could be good, could be great, could be bad, could be awful. We'll just have to wait and see.
We'll just have to wait and see, man. We will just have to wait and see. What will Chris Hardwick do once he's out of a job? We will see. Maybe he can come on Exactly Entertainment.
We didn't have a cool phone number though.
No, we'll make one once Chris is here. Chris, if you're watching, hit us up on Twitter. You can come on anytime, Chris Hardwick. All right, we are gonna wrap it up there. Thank you for watching this episode of the Exactly Entertainment podcast. Have a good day.